every week. So I have 6 games a week, so I'm happy rather than just having 1 game a week, on the weekends. So the scout team receivers, all of us, we all know like every day's game day, and we definitely approach everything in that fashion and everything, because I truly believe the receivers we have on the scout team is really explosive and they're really great. They just need an opportunity. So, yeah, I'm very thankful. I have those guys, out there with me whenever I'm out there competing.
And
Shedeur Sanders just dropped the mic. And no, it's not about touchdowns or Heisman talk. This time, he's giving props to the people who never get any shine, his scout team brothers. The same crew that usually gets paid in bruises, tape burns, and warm Gatorade suddenly found themselves in the spotlight, and everyone's losing it. What did Shedeur say? Did he hype them up as the real heroes? Did he roast them so hard they'll need aloe after practice? Or did he spill some hidden locker room drama? Whatever it was, it had fans glued like it was a Netflix reunion special with helmets on. So yeah, Shedeur went public about his so-called scout team family, and it spread faster than gossip at a tailgate, because when he talks, people don't just listen. They pause life. This isn't some spoiled rookie whining about cafeteria food or crying over lost reps. No. Shedeur's out here showing what grown man leadership looks like, surrounded by veterans twice his age who still can't match his focus or maturity. And somehow, he's doing all this while the Cleveland Browns, bless their chaos, keep tripping over their own bad decisions like it's a team sport.
Cleveland ESPN has reported that Shedeur Sanders is not receiving any reps. That means no second team, third team, not even scout team reps. Meaning he's just sitting in practice, throwing the ball to whoever and just going through drills all day. No practice reps, no nothing. He can't improve? Why? Why is he not given an opportunity to even improve his skills? That's the whole point of practice. I understand now letting him go with the ones at this point. You've made it clear. Maybe even second team, but not even scout team reps?
It's wild when you really think about it. You've got Shedeur, a quarterback built for prime time, standing on the sidelines while Cleveland acts like Joe Flacco's ghost is still running the offense. But instead of throwing fits, the kid turns around and lifts others up. That's rare in this league. He's calling his scout team his family, not the Instagram version, but the real kind. Loyalty, bruises, and bad cafeteria jokes included. It's like Fast and Furious, but instead of Vin Diesel, it's big linemen who inhale 4 pizzas after practice and still ask, "What's for dinner?" That's the heart of it right there. Shedeur's not bitter, not hiding behind passive-aggressive tweets, not even throwing shade at the front office, though let's be honest, they deserve a total eclipse. He's spotlighting the real grinders, the ones fans never mention, the ones pretending to be opponents, so the starters don't get humiliated on Sundays. That's not just leadership, that's character. They're human tackling dummies with cleats, and Shedeur Sanders just turned them into the frickin' Avengers. What a power move. Think about it. The Browns are giving Shedeur less playing time than the water boy gets screen time in a Gatorade ad, yet somehow he still looks like the most composed, battle-tested vet in the room. Calling him mature for his age doesn't even come close to describing it. This man's got the patience of a monk and the swagger of someone who already knows his story's ending in a gold jacket. While older quarterbacks are busy throwing mini meltdowns over practice snaps, Shedeur's over here building loyalty like he's running a masterclass in leadership. The scout team must have felt like they just won Powerball. One day they're invisible, sweating buckets.
Shedeur Sanders and his scout team, or these reps or that reps, but like I've said in all my videos, I think the biggest thing we need to listen to is Shedeur himself. He has come off as humble, understanding the media, patient in every single time. So when the haters are saying that he's a bum and he should be cut, and maybe some people are saying that he should be mad, Shedeur Sanders knows that he's waiting for his time, the perfect time. God's timing, man. Here's what Shedeur is proving.
Shedeur Sanders just confirmed that he's ready when he's called. But what shocked everyone is how much he is loving life on the scout team. And trust me, this could flip the entire Browns QB battle.
Running fake plays they'll never use, getting yelled at by coaches who think screaming equals strategy. And the next, their own quarterback is calling them brothers. That's Hallmark-level heart wrapped in shoulder pads and turf stains. You just know somewhere in Cleveland, a PR guy fainted mid-email. Because let's be honest, the Browns' PR department's been in panic mode since flip phones were cool. Every time they try to look professional, they end up back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. It's like watching a circus that keeps hiring more clowns instead of fixing the tent. And now they've got Shedeur, this diamond in the dirt, a quarterback who doesn't even get the reps he deserves, but still makes the scout team look more valuable than the actual starters. That's not just maturity, that's 4D chess, baby. Shedeur's not playing for attention. He's building a foundation. When he calls those guys family, it's not for show. That's strategy, that's heart, that's empire-building energy. While the Browns front office is out here writing love letters to washed-up veterans, Shedeur's quietly stacking loyalty from the ground up, turning backups into believers and a locker room into a movement. Picture the long game here, years down the line, when Shedeur finally gets more than 2 snaps without the coaching staff clutching their pearls like nervous grandmas. Those scout team dudes are gonna run through a wall for him. That's loyalty money can't buy. And honestly, it makes Cleveland look even more clueless. Like, how do you stare at this calm, laser-focused, born leader and still say, nah, let's stick with a 39-year-old who moves slower than dial-up internet? Come on, if the Browns were a TV show, they'd be The Office. But without Jim or Dwight to save the chaos, just Michael Scott calling the shots and making bad decisions every single episode.
Definition of what Shedeur meant when he gonna get time to cook and marinate and sitting on the sideline and just learning and being ready and getting prepared better for when his opportunity comes. This is what I was telling y'all about when it was reported that Shedeur was getting no scout team reps. What I meant when I said he was getting no scout team reps is exactly what he said, what I wanted to happen.
Meanwhile, Shedeur is rewriting the quarterback handbook one humble move at a time. Most young players his age are out here flexing jewelry, posting cryptic tweets, or crying about brand identity. Not him. Shedeur's busy building a brotherhood with the guys doing the grunt work, the ones running fake plays, taking hits, and still showing up with heart. It's genuine, it's rare, and it's shaking up the entire locker room dynamic. And that's where things get wild for the Browns. Because if Shedeur can win hearts without even stepping on the field, imagine what happens once they finally let him play. The ripple effect's already in motion. Just picture those scout guys right now. Half of them probably thought their biggest compliment all year would be a tired good hustle from a bored coach. Then out of nowhere, the golden boy himself says, "No, you're my family." Boom. Instant glow up. They went from background extras to co-stars in the Shedeur Sanders cinematic universe. Now you just know those guys are walking into practice with an extra bounce, heads high, smiles wide. And the starters? Oh, they're fuming. That's the beauty of it. The locker room's turning into a full-blown social battlefield. Less structured team, more high school cafeteria vibes, tables forming, whispers spreading, and at the center of it all, Shedeur, calm, collected, and completely in control of the chaos. On one side, you've got the starters looking salty, like they just found out their ex is thriving. On the other, the scout team's walking tall, grinning like they're about to drop a diss track. And right in the middle, Shedeur Sanders, calm as ice, sipping his metaphorical tea while the whole locker room spirals.
Here's the thing. You don't want Shedeur, who is a 5th-round draft pick, 3rd stringer, to be learning other offenses, to be mimicking other offenses or defenses when he's playing, because sometimes you got to even switch and play the other side of the ball. I have played offense before as scout team. I digress. You don't want him doing anything Atlanta Falcons because you want him to learn the Cleveland Browns way. What does that mean? You're not running scout team. You're going to stand right here, as Tony Rizzo saw or heard, was informed. You're standing right here next to Dylan Gabriel, next to and watching Joe Flacco.
The man doesn't even flinch, just watches the drama unfold like it's entertainment. The media, of course, tried to spin it like he was just being nice. Nice? Please, that wasn't kindness. That was a strategic power play wrapped in humility, because nothing screams "I'm the future" louder than the star quarterback bonding with the lowest ranked guys on the depth chart. That's not some random act of goodwill. That's empire building disguised as locker room love. That's how you build loyalty that lasts, the kind you can't fake or force. And watch, the Browns will probably find a way to mess it up. Maybe they'll fine him for unauthorized bonding activities. Maybe they'll bench him even longer for being too mature. Or maybe, just maybe, they'll keep doing what they do best, ignoring greatness until it's lining up against them on Sundays. Because if Cleveland has a legacy, it's ignoring talent until it bites them in the end zone. But here's the cold truth.
To get the scout team reps against the first team defense. Listen to what he said now. He said everybody ain't got a Myles Garrett. Everybody ain't got these linebackers we got. Cleveland defense is a solid defense. They got some holes in some places, and the offense can't put up no points right now. But imagine you being a rookie quarterback running scout team against this number one defense in practice. Like he said, he has 6 games a week.
Shedeur doesn't care, not even a little. He's not whining about his playing time, not begging for reps, not sulking in interviews. Nah, he's planting seeds, long-term ones. He's showing everyone that while others chase spotlight, he's earning respect. The dude carries himself like a 10-year vet trapped in a rookie contract. He knows his moment's coming, and when it hits, it's gonna shake the whole league. And when that day comes, he won't be walking out alone. He'll have an army behind him, not just fans, but that scout team he turned into believers. The ones who will block, fight, and bleed for him because he made them feel seen.
It makes me feel good when Shedeur Sanders feels good. You know why? Because Shedeur gets talked about. He gets hated upon. He gets all of this media screw. People are constantly making Shedeur all the time. It's constant. They went a full week telling you how Shedeur's an idiot. Why didn't he sign with the Browns? See, and this is why Shedeur and Deion are dumb. That's what NFL media tried to tell you for a full week. Look how stupid Shedeur is because they ran out of cocky narrative.
The more you look at it, the clearer it gets. Shedeur's not even playing the same game as everyone else. The coaches are out here playing checkers. The front office can barely manage tic-tac-toe. And Shedeur, he's running 3D chess blindfolded, already 3 moves ahead before anyone else even finds the board. Shedeur Sanders already knows how this story ends. He doesn't need validation from anyone. At this point, he's just letting Cleveland embarrass itself in real time. And honestly, it's poetic. Think about it. The Browns have spent decades searching for their savior quarterback. And when they finally find one, what do?
Shedeur Sanders has finally broken his silence, because there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of narratives out there about what's going on with Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Is Kevin Stefanski trying to sabotage him? Is Shedeur Sanders getting the reps in practice? A lot of things came out during training camp that, he wasn't getting first team reps. He was getting limited reps, and he was making the best of his opportunities. And a lot of media personnel and a lot of people that was up close at these Cleveland Browns practices in the training camp, when they saw Shedeur on the field with the opportunities that he was getting, they said Shedeur Sanders was playing lights out.
Stick him in storage like leftover takeout nobody wants to reheat. You couldn't script irony better than this. Meanwhile, Shedeur's out here showing that true leadership isn't about Sunday stats or highlight reels. It's about presence, influence, and pure character. He's not flexing for cameras. He's elevating the scout team like they're headliners at a sold-out show. That's not just maturity. That's a revolution in cleats, the kind of quiet power move that builds legacies while everyone else is too busy arguing about who's QB1. At some point, even the most stubborn Browns fans gotta face it. Shedeur isn't just the future, he's the guy right now. And if the team still can't see that, then maybe, just maybe, they don't deserve him. Because there's only so long you can ignore greatness before greatness gets tired and leaves. And deep down, that's the Browns' biggest nightmare, that their golden ticket might cash out somewhere that actually values him. So for now, we just sit back and enjoy the show. The tragic comedy that is Cleveland football. Shedeur Sanders, the most composed, strategic, and mentally bulletproof quarterback on the roster. spending more time hyping up his scout team family than throwing passes on Sundays. It's absurd. It's hilarious. It's peak Cleveland Browns. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just funny. It's a warning shot. Because when this kid finally gets his chance, the same people laughing now will be scrambling to keep up later. That's the genius of Shedeur.
Cleveland Browns, they really amaze me every single year. And we're only 2 weeks into the season. You guys know the Shedeur Sanders thing has been going since the NFL draft. He was projected to be a top 5 pick, ended up falling all the way to the 5th round. Well, now he's not even getting scout team reps. Per Football Forever, Shedeur Sanders isn't getting any practice reps, not even on scout team, per Tony Rizzo. Hearing Shedeur isn't even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone. Bailey Zappi is running scout team. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even there? Rizzo said via ESPN Cleveland. I really wish I knew. I really wish I knew why the Cleveland Browns decided to take.
While the Browns are tripping over their own confusion, he's quietly building something real, something lasting. He's not chasing viral moments or headlines. He's building a legacy one overlooked rep at a time. Shedeur's just out here being himself, calm, composed, and effortlessly cool, even while surrounded by chaos. In a franchise that usually runs like a blender with the lid off, he somehow brings order. You can see it. He actually values the people around him, even if the so-called Browns brain trust treats them like disposable chess pawns ready to be sacrificed whenever it's convenient. And that's exactly what makes this whole scout team family moment so Shedeur. Because seriously, who else in his position would even think to say that? Most young quarterbacks in his shoes would be stomping their feet, demanding more snaps, and firing off cryptic tweets about being overlooked.
Y'all are saying he can't do anything right. I recently saw last week when the kicker missed his kick in the last couple seconds, Shedeur went over to give him some words of encouragement, and y'all said that he just wanted some TV time. Newsflash, the only reason why the camera was over there is because Shedeur walked over there. Like, you've been able to have an explanation for everything on why he's not good, why he can't play, but explain why you won't allow him to practice. Explain why you won't allow him to actually get better. Y'all are making it very obvious. You just want to bury him and so we can just stop.
Not this guy. Shedeur's out here turning clipboard carriers and fake play runners into kings. That's Jedi-level maturity right there. Those scout team warriors needed that boost too. They're the real unsung heroes. The grinders who spend their weeks pretending to be the Ravens' defense or the Chiefs' offense just to make the starters look good. They wake up, strap on pads, and basically live as football stunt doubles, understudies in a Broadway show that never lets them touch the stage. Then along comes Shedeur Sanders and handing out respect like gold medals. That's something that sticks with a man forever. You can't teach that kind of authenticity. You can't coach it. It's just who he is. And now, imagine the ripple effect inside that locker room. Suddenly, Shedeur's not just another quarterback fighting for scraps of playing time. He's the glue guy, the bridge builder between the forgotten men and the spotlight hogs. He's quietly changing the team dynamic without ever raising his voice. That kind of leadership, it's priceless. You can't fake it, and you sure can't buy it. It's instinct. Raw, real, and impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, the Browns front office is too busy polishing helmets for quarterbacks who peaked back when Obama was still in office. They're stuck in the past, while Shedeur's turning every single practice into a masterclass in connection. He's not just leading plays, he's leading people. And that's exactly what makes him different. That's the difference between a player just clocking in for a paycheck and a man quietly building a dynasty. Shedeur isn't just throwing passes, he's throwing lifelines.
Again, and he's likes to have fun out there is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field and he's going up to the receivers and like thinking of celebrations to do when we score, like creating celebrations and all that, and that's awesome. It lightens up the mood. Everyone feels like, 'cause you go in there, especially the first couple of days of minicamp, and everyone's tight, everyone's stiff, everyone's like, I can't make a mistake, I can't mistake. And he's coming up to you asking, you think he has an important question for you. He's like, hey, twin, what celebration you want to do? Yeah, all right, I like it.
You know that.
Definitely loosens you up and makes you play.
In a league overflowing with egos bigger than the stadium jumbotrons, that kind of humility hits different. It's rare, it's real, and it's what separates stars from legends. But let's keep it 100. The Browns coaching staff probably sees all this as a distraction, because that's the NFL way, right? Build too much chemistry with the wrong crowd and suddenly you're too friendly, like being respected by your teammates is some kind of red flag. Meanwhile, the actual problem is still jogging out every Sunday, tossing wobbly passes like it's a rigged carnival game at a county fair. The irony writes itself. Cleveland's got a quarterback who's so grounded, so mature, and so focused on elevating the entire team that he's winning hearts without even playing snaps. And instead of embracing it, the Browns brass is probably in a meeting somewhere wondering if it might disrupt the locker room ecosystem. You know, that precious ecosystem of mediocrity they've worked so hard to protect. It's comedy disguised as management. But here's the twist. Loyalty pays off every single time. Because when Shedeur finally gets unleashed, those scout team guys he called family are gonna move like their lives depend on it. They'll block harder, run faster, and throw their bodies on the line for him because he made them believe. That's the kind of bond you can't measure with analytics or stats. That's legacy energy. That's the magic that turns promising quarterbacks into legends. In Cleveland, bless their chaotic little hearts, they'll act shocked like nobody saw it coming, even though the rest of us watched it build from day one. If you're feeling this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one, because this saga is just getting started.